Yes, people, welcome back to another episode on That Gunners Talk. And as always, it's me and KP here to bring you all the latest Arsenal news, all the Arsenal updates. And today we're previewing, to be honest, a massive clash for Arsenal and in the Premier League, as it has massive title implications potentially as Arsenal take on Liverpool, looking to get back to winning ways in the Premier League at the Emirates Stadium. Firstly, KP, tell me about yourself. How are you feeling today, buddy?
Hi, my name is KP. I'm joking. Yeah, bro. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm the even just need this game, man. Like I'm excited to watch this game. I'm intrigued to see who's fit. Obviously a bit nervous. It's a big game. Obviously a lot of implications on the game as well. If both we win or we don't. But I feel good. How about you, bro? How are you feeling?
Feeling good as always. Like you touched on, to be honest, who is fit is probably the biggest thing going into this game because, like I said, it's a must-win game. As if they win, it could be 7 points clear in October. No, that doesn't mean fully title over, but with Man City potentially going on to win at the weekend, who knows? That'd be 7 and 6 points clear in October. With the injuries we battled, missing Odegaard, potentially going to miss Bukayo, Saka. Still a bit of a doubt on that. Jurrien Timber, we don't know. So to be honest, it's up in the air right now. But I'm confident, as always. You have to be always to back the boys as well. But I want to touch on the injuries, KP. Going into this game, we hear murmurings about Bukayo Saka potentially coming back to be fit. Same thing with Jurrien Timber. However, Ricardo Calafiori will miss this game as he picked up an injury, and in the Champions League, the knee injury looked really nasty when they seen it. Thank God it's only allegedly a few weeks and not months, because it looked way worse than a lot of people projected. We also have other figures in this team missing, like Tomiyasu as well, not into this game. So KP, I know the defense is going to be a big topic. Let me know what you think, first of all, how Arteta will go about this game and how you would go about this game, and who do you think will be fit, like I said, with Bukayo Saka potentially coming back?
Well, I think in terms of the fitness side, I think Saka, I just have a feeling Saka was rested all of this time for this game. And I'm not saying that means Saka is 100% fit, but I think if there was going to be a game that the Arsenal tried to make sure that he was ready for, it would have been this game, given the Bournemouth game was straight after international break. Shakhtar Donetsk is a game that we should be beaten without Saka needing to play. And obviously Liverpool game, especially now that we lost the Bournemouth game, has a lot of implications. Timber as well. I think Mikel talking about them being so close to certain games and being ruled out. I think you just kind of, earmark certain games, which means just allow them to have a bit more rest, a bit more recovery, not put too much pressure on the muscles too far away from that target game. So Calafiori, thank God, is not too mad. Obviously, I think just him continuing to play on that injury, or with the injury afterwards, because it looked bad. It didn't look the worst. Like, it wasn't like, such a sharp, bend or turn. Like, it was bad. Like, it was like abnormal, but it wasn't like out in terms of the range of movement. I don't think it was so abnormal enough that the impact would have been like damaging. So obviously it's good that he's only out for a couple of weeks. But in terms of who I play, it depends on if you want to like kind of segue into creating a formation for that game already.
I mean, not really, but you could have just give me like a feeling of like not really who'd you play, but how you would approach the game. Like I said, we can't touch on how you approach the game.
How I approach the game, I think we gotta take the game to Liverpool. Like, I think it's not even just about like fulfilling the narrative around either opposition fans or pundits talking about, or just pundits in general talking about how Arsenal are boring or whatever they want to say, and Arsenal fans that seem to be like unsatisfied with the way we've been playing this season so far. Not every game, but majority of the games. I think it's one of those games where we know Liverpool want to get onto the ball. It's going to be an open game. They play attacking football. So Arsenal need to use the fact that we're going to be at home. The Emirates crowd is going to be rocking, and we got to give them a reason to want to rock. Similar to how when we faced Liverpool earlier this year and the previous season, where we completely dominated them in all facets of the game. Could have scored more goals, and like, it was a complete performance that you, from start to finish, okay, do you know what I mean? I need one of those. And I think we can deliver that. And despite certain players not being there, obviously most notably Saliba and Odegaard for sure are going to be ruled out that game. Obviously Calafiori as well, as to say. So it just means that like it won't be easy, but I think we need to play high aggressive football, high press, attacking football, trying to go vertical as much as possible, to where like we're putting it on Liverpool, to where they have to match us at our ground, and try and outmatch, I should say, rather than us. Like, don't get me wrong, football's a game. We're gonna have moments where we're gonna need to defend and drop into our shape, but for the most part, I want to see us take risks with our passing, try to squeeze them with a high press, win the ball, and then capitalize when we win the ball. Like, I feel like against Shakhtar, we did win the ball quite a lot, especially that first half. Like, I just didn't utilize the ball as well, whether it was the pass or just not creating a shot or anything. So I
think that's something this season that has gone a bit unnoticed, our ability to win the ball back in good areas. Now, again, if we put our chances away early, like we did against Shakhtar, Trossard had a chance. I know we won the ball back up early, had a few chances. We created a good few chances off the press. Same thing at Bournemouth. We created a good few chances off the press. And Liverpool is a team that, even though, yes, they're a good attacking side, they like to play that risky possession football. So if we can establish a press and establish ourselves in their half from early, I think we can get an early goal, and that maybe might change the momentum and swing of the game. And I think that's going to be a big, big thing for us. How do we react to the first goal, whether it sways either side? How do we react going a goal up and continuing to dominate the game? Or, like, because this is a game of football, what happens if we go 1-0 down? And going 1-0 down is not always drop heads, but you have to get back. How do we react to a massive hardship in a massive title game? And I know, like I said, there's been a lot of fans who have been very upset with the progression of this club, and there are a lot of the fans that are very upset with the state of the club right now and how we're playing football and how we're playing certain games. So I'd say this: we can't talk about rotation and wanting rotation for certain players and then be angry when it comes. Like, I just heard a few people arguing about, why is Thomas Partey playing right back? But in the game before, the same person was saying, why did we bring Kivior off the bench when we were down to 10 men? It's like, at the same time, you have to understand game state and certain moments in the game and managing certain moments in the game. No, listen, a game against Bournemouth, we could touch on really quickly because we didn't really get to talk about it too much. Martinelli puts the ball in the back of the net. Now, I know I want to blame it on Martinelli, but Martinelli puts the ball in the back of the net. We're saying Arteta is a genius. He gets that right. He played the game well. He worked his tactics out. And even though he had adversity, we got through that. And then we beat Shakhtar. I know we look different looking at it going into this Liverpool game. So it's good to see that you're still in high spirits. It's good to see that you still back the boys. I mean, as usual, we know you're the type of fan. But there's going to be a lot of changes, like I said, to this team. Going to be a lot of massive changes, like I said, to this team.
I think it's just interesting to see with the who's available. Obviously, I don't think it will ever be known who's definitely available. I'm pretty sure Mikel in his press conference tomorrow, when asked about Saka and Timber, is going to give the answer. They'll train. They've only had like one training session. We'll have to see how they feel after, I'm saying, that type of thing, or they haven't trained. More time of it. I know he's doing it so Liverpool can stay guessing, thinking, is Saka going to play? Is he not? And then maybe on the day, boom, Saka's on the score on the team sheet, and it's like, not saying you can't prep for Saka, but you might have assumed Saka's not playing, so you just didn't fully prep for, do you know what I'm saying? Like I just think Mikel's got to be brave in his lineup. Whoever's available, he's got to choose like the best team that can make us win, but also play well.
Mm-hmm. And I do think being on the front foot is the way to approach a game like this. It doesn't make sense having the fans behind you, having the home field advantage, and then going to sit back too much. No, I'm not saying game state is different. No, I mean, if we go into the game and we're 1-0 up, and there's going to be moments where Liverpool have the ball and are on it, and you're going to have to sit in, soak up some pressure, and then maybe work through those moments. I mean, that happens in football. People that can't understand that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But I don't want us to go into that game and when we go 1-0 up, hit off and start letting Liverpool take the game to us. No, I understand sometimes you might do it, but I think this game we need to put our foot on their necks. And I think hopefully if Bukayo Saka is back fit, we will see a lot of what people have been arguing about resolved in this team. Because I was watching James Gunnerverse talk about it. when we get that ball wide to Jesus, I remember in the Champions League, it seems like when Havertz drops there to help him link up and have that profile there of a left footer to create, it's like who's in the box? A player like Trossard. So I mean, Trossard is only like 5 foot, whatever. He's not winning a header. He's only going to be so much of a presence in the box. And so
Yeah,
your crossing has to be immaculate to find a player like Trossard in the box, and especially when you have Jesus cutting back inside onto his left all the time, checking back inside, checking back inside. And when he does go down line, the cross has to be immaculate. So it's really, really difficult. We don't really have certain profiles in the team right now. So it's always difficult. But if you want to touch on the lineup, we can go straight into the lineup and really get discussing about who to start in this team, unless you have anything more to say.
uh, I'll just speak on Jesus just in case Saka is out. I would start Jesus on the right, and despite
Okay.
him not having the same level of impact and what's the word? Uh, same level of inevitableness, like
Yeah.
with Saka, that he's gonna have a moment, whether it's an assist, whether it's a goal, whether it's some type of moment that's gonna enable us to help us to win, whether it's a corner kick, some
Yes.
lovely
1,000.
sprint, do you know what I'm saying? But with Jesus, I think that was like one of his best performances for us in a while. Well, this season anyway, just in terms of his liveliness, his commitment to the press, because it's commitment to throwing his body around. I remember there was one tackle that was a 50-50 that he won. And I'm like, that's a player that trusts his body, because if you don't, you're not gonna
For yourself. And
he
even other than
he
that,
threw
he's
himself into it.
tracking back.
Yeah, so it was like, and then obviously just the dribbling was nice. Obviously that chance, you wish you would have scored it, but I think he will get better with time, and he can see slowly, surely, when he can trust his body, he can start to play his game. But we can get into the lineup. I think we can get into the lineup. I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah, I have a few things to say about the lineup. No, I originally was going to talk about a certain player coming into this fold. I think we'll save that for the lineup when we really break it down or really touch on it. But I think I've gone with a little bit of a change. Now, first of all, start at the goalkeeper. I think it should be obvious who we're all going for in goal. No need to speak about it. I think that's David Raya, right? Unless you thinking Neto has a chance.
No, for sure, it's David Raya.
All right, so David Raya will go in goal. To be honest, hasn't conceded anything in the Champions League. A bit of a leaky defense, but started off this season as Arsenal's, to be honest, up there as a best player along with Bukayo Saka. Consistency. I mean, the last couple of performances have been a bit shaky, especially the Bournemouth game. I thought was a bit strange one from David Raya. Something I haven't seen from him in a long, long time. But
Yeah, I think that Bournemouth game was just a drunk game from
yeah,
majority of players. Like just
Mhm.
don't like just weird. It was a weird one. Like
Mhm.
so.
But yeah, he'll bounce back. The right back position, though. Mikel
I'm
Arteta did say in his. Oh, you could go ahead.
I think Timber will play, man. I think
I
Timber.
do think he will play because even Mikel Arteta said in his press conference he pulled off Ben White not from due to injury. That was a decision he decided to make, maybe on a yellow card, like you said, a precaution. But if Jurrien Timber is 1,000% fit for this game at right back, I'm going Jurrien Timber because I think that's the best right back option we have right now at the club. No, I don't want to disrespect Ben White, but the ability on the ball from Jurrien Timber going forward and defensively being so athletic and being so defensively stout, I think he gives us the best of both worlds. No, Ben
Yeah,
White was giving us that, but until I've seen Jurrien Timber consistently at the right back position, it's like, okay, wow, I understand what we have in this player. But I'd go Jurrien Timber right back.
Timber right back makes the most sense. I think if he's fit, if he isn't fit, I think Mikel would then probably earn the side of putting Party there, and then maybe obviously changing the midfield. But I just hope Timber's fit, and I hope that he can play, because not just in terms of just having the natural defensive players in the position, but what he can bring to our team, as you said, like on the ball, in this type of game where it's gonna take that individual skill, to drop a shoulder and beat a press and open up space, because everyone's gonna be pressing high. And it's gonna be about your 1v1 duels more than just like a team sitting back and being a low block. Will be a player like Timber will be needed. So okay, now that Saliba's gonna be out, who I assume we're gonna put Ben White in the right centre back position.
Yes, I would go Ben White. I mean, Kivior didn't really cover himself in glory against Bournemouth, giving away coming off the bench, giving away a penalty, and there was a lot of pressure on him. But I have seen Kivior come on the bench and perform. But I mean, let's be honest, Ben White has to start somewhere in this team if there's no Saliba. I think he will do a good job, good playing out of the back as well. And with a player like Ben White who's been playing in the team, who's getting back from fitness, hopefully he has a better game than he had against Bournemouth. But I mean, who we have available, then you have to go Ben White, honestly.
Obviously, I agree with what you're saying as well. Just before moving on to the next position, which we both know who's going to be, I I also didn't want. I would rather Ben White play centre back in this game and Timber play right back. Not that it necessarily always has to be in that order. I think they like some games I might actually want Ben White to play right back and Timber to play centre back. But I think where Liverpool have good 1v1 wingers in obviously Salah, in Diaz, Gakpo, I don't think Ben White defends the best against 1v1 tricky wingers. I'm not saying he gets destroyed, but he does get beaten, and obviously he would then have to do a recovery tackle or foul, which I just don't want in this type of game. Like I want Timber. I've seen Timber been able to close down enough wingers this year that whether it's Diaz or Gakpo, I don't feel like they're gonna get real joy out of them, and then it becomes down to the left hand side of Salah. So obviously left centre back, I'm assuming Gabriel. Obviously,
Yes,
we're not
1000%.
assuming, we know. So left back is the interesting situation because we obviously it's not confirmed Calafiori's injured, but let's just be real. The way that injury looks like, even if he isn't injured, you should allow him to rest because they would have. I think I told you this on Tuesday. There will definitely be some swelling, and like swelling takes at least a day or two to come down fully, anyways, and then you won't really know what the impact is until the swelling's down, and then obviously you can get a scan, and then you can start some type of rehab. So yeah, I'll let you know. But
honestly, at that left back position, no, I'm thinking about it. I know I'm looking at it. Ideally, it would be Calafiori. What I do think Arteta would go with, I think it will actually be Jurrien Timber on the left. I think Partey will go to right back if Calafiori is out. I know this Zinchenko is back. I know we also have Miles Lewis-Skelly because I decide out of those two. I know you don't want to throw Miles Lewis-Skelly in there, but
I was gonna say Miles Lewis-Skelly.
I know. I wouldn't throw Miles Lewis-Skelly in there. I know he's the best profile we have, and I think he would do good in this situation. However, I just don't know. I know it can't be Kivior. I think it might be Timber left back, potentially Partey right back, or maybe even Kivior coming in. Honestly, I think it might be Kivior.
Yeah, I think that I don't think Kivior comes into this game first of all. So not this game, anyways. Against Mo Salah, even though it's not the same level Mo Salah as he is, I think we need the Timber left back situation will even make more sense because he's more left footed and Timber's right footed. But I guess obviously, as you're saying, Calafiori's fit. He plays this game, and we have the back four, well, emulating the normal back four with Ben White switching Saliba. But now we don't, and yeah, I think if Tuesday wasn't enough of a microcosm where Calafiori comes off, Mikel has the opportunity to bring on Zinchenko or Kivior, as you're saying, and he doesn't bring any of them on. I think in that position and just what the pockets and positions that he picks up is very interesting for the player of his age, and I think physically he offers us a bit more than the other two players in that position currently. And on the ball, I think Zinchenko probably will definitely edge it, but Lars Solskjaer has the ball carrying and the inventiveness and the youthfulness that will make him want to try, certain passes in this type of game and do certain things that maybe other guys will just, err on the side of caution. So what should we do? Because obviously we've put Timber right back right now. Do you want to change it? Put Partey there, put Timber left back, or do you want to see if Lewis-Skelly will have a chance?
That's interesting to say because I do think Lewis-Skelly does have a chance, especially seeing him come off the bench. But I think just going up against Mo Salah, he's going to be safe. I just think it's going to be real difficult. Really, really. It would be. I'm not saying it'd be wrong for Arteta to play Lewis-Skelly. I'd be intrigued with it, and I think, to be honest, it'd be a good selection. I wouldn't mind it. But however, Arteta, this will be a rarity for Arteta, is what I'm saying. Like this would be a different Arteta from what we've seen over the last couple of years if Lewis-Skelly does go left back. But you could put him in left back because that's the player I want to see there. But what do I expect? I do expect it to potentially be Timber left back if he's fit. I think he will be. maybe Thomas Partey right back. I
Yeah,
honestly,
I have a feeling definitely. Yeah, if uh, if that's the case, but I just feel like we lose something with
yes, I do agree.
taking Party out of that six, even
I
though
do,
he can still invert, but he tends to probably just stay out wide. We lose something that in this game against Liverpool, I want to have in that middle of the park,
I
ball
do agree.
playing wise,
I do agree.
alongside Rice, than to have it as far away. And
I do agree.
I think this is like I do agree. Like I would never be surprised, or it probably would be expected if Mikel does play, Timber left back, Party right back, or some iteration. Maybe uh, Ben White. I'm saying Declan Rice centre back, and then Party. Say I don't know something in it,
That's
but
what I'm thinking about. Oh,
uh,
maybe,
I
maybe,
I just want
maybe.
to see Lewis Kelly play because physically he probably offers the best out of the rest of the solutions, and on the ball, I think he's
Yes.
just superb. So. That's
No,
what
no,
I
you're not wrong in your assessment. I 1000% agree.
Okay, cool. So okay, in this team that we're creating so far, I'm assuming Party will be at the base.
Yes, I would definitely have Partey at the base. I think, to be honest, by far and away at the club right now, our best six in terms of breaking down and starting our first phase of play. Thomas Partey this season for me has been one of the most impressive players this season. I think the consistency he's getting back to, and I think the biggest problem for a lot of people with Partey was how can he manage his minutes and with his fitness, how does he look playing games consistently? Because we've seen he's a crucial player to what we want to do in terms of building up from the back and developing our attacks. So Thomas Partey for me, a great line break. I thought against Bournemouth he was in for a man of the match performance until we go down to 10 men, and that ultimately changes the outlook of that game. Because I think Thomas Partey for me was on pace to have one of his best performances of the season so far. Same thing like against Man City as well. But yeah, I go Thomas Partey definitely at the base of the six.
Yeah, I do agree with you totally. So Declan Rice to the right of him. I mean,
Mm,
to the left of him. Sorry.
let me think about it. Let me think about it. Yes, I'd go Declan Rice to the left of him. Why pause initially? Because I was thinking maybe Moreno left-sided eight and maybe a potential shock, but no, I don't think so. I think it'll be Partey at the base, Declan Rice at the left, and we'll discuss who is on the right in a little bit.
Okay, so I agree with that. With Declan Rice, he's got to play anyway. So let's get to that talk. That next centre mid position, that more attacking position. Is this a game that we want to see Ethan get his chance in a big game to?
I'd say yes, because for a player, I'm not comparing him to Lamine Yamal, but when I watch Lamine Yamal, right, and it's very similar to Ethan Wanyeri, they carry this fearlessness in the way they play football. And I think that enthusiasm, not only to the team and that impetus in the team, but what it will bring to the stadium. Like if Wanyeri, we saw Wanyeri in that cameo off the bench. Was it against Leicester? Where he comes in, just dribbles two men and has a shot, and how that lifted the whole ground. Imagine Wanyeri comes on, picks up the ball early against Liverpool, and drives at that midfield that people have
Yeah,
been raving so much about. Runs at Gravenberch, does Gravenberch, plays in a wonderful ball in behind to whoever plays left or right wing. Like imagine like the way that would lift the stadium and get galvanize not only the fans but the manager. I think that's a massive part Arteta has to lean into slightly, and I think this team needs a bit of creativity and needs a bit of impetus. Needs someone to move the ball, whether that be through the lanes quicker with passing or move the lines quicker through the lanes with dribbling. And I think Wanyeri gives you both of those aspects to the game. I think you can't go wrong with having Wanyeri in the 10. I definitely go Ethan. Who would I think it would be? I think it would be Moreno, honestly, though. I think it will be.
so you think it's gonna be who?
I think it might be Moreno, honestly, just because yes, Moreno is the left-footed profile of midfielder. Maybe he wants to drop Kai at the right side of eight. We saw Kai Havertz dropping a lot to that position, but like I said earlier, when Kai Havertz drops in that position to assist whoever is playing right wing, we lose so much in the middle of the box in terms of that presence and occupying those two centre backs, especially with Liverpool having Van Dijk and Kanate, having that presence of Havertz who's gonna be trying to run in behind, trying to bully the centre backs all game long and give them hell. I think we're definitely going to miss that if he starts pulling out wide and dropping into deeper spaces. So I'd go Ethan, but I honestly think it would be Moreno. So what would you lean towards, KP? You're probably the deciding I
I
think
think
might as
so.
well go with
Okay,
that.
so before I go to Ali, I know who I'm going to choose. What about Trossard? Does he not have a start for you in this game?
Mm, no, I think that's a good take. No, I think with Trossard, um, Trossard has a potential to start. Trossard might also start. That's also a name I throw in there. But in the 10 in this game, I mean, he could do a job, but I just think I'd probably go with a different profile. I'm just leaning to more towards Ethan because I think Ethan is just more different, but just provides more of a different profile to what we have. And I think that's the closest
He
thing we're
has
going
a
to
he
create
has a
is
sense
Ethan.
of X factor that we
Yes, he just has
need.
that difference making ability that he carries. And there's no diss to Trossard. That I know me, I'm probably one of the biggest Trossard advocates
Yeah,
in
you are
the
100%.
space, honestly, for Trossard. No, I've been asking for Trossard to get way more starts than he has in his Arsenal time. But I think in and around the box is Trossard's best ability. But I think right now there's a man in form that has his position in. And you know me, I'm also very fair on that. When Trossard was in form, I was giving it to Trossard. When Martinelli was in form, I was giving it to Martinelli. So I
Yeah.
think this game might be the game Trossard might miss us from the start, honestly.
Okay, so I'm assuming up front we're gonna have Kai Havertz,
Yeah, I go Kai Havertz at top.
and off the left we're gonna have Martinelli,
Yes,
who I
Martinelli.
think who looked very, very good on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
despite us not looking good as a team. I think Martinelli looked very sharp, very lively, very focused, very on it. They say that
Mm-hmm.
like every time we got the ball, they felt like something was gonna happen or he was gonna do something. And if he was gonna create any chances, it was gonna be through him, which was a good thing to see, especially with Saka being out. So right wing, obviously I just think Saka's like Saka will play this game. Let me not say
Yeah,
he's
I
fit.
think so too. I don't even think it makes sense discussing. No, I mean, let me not say. Let me say it doesn't make sense. For the sake of the video, we can have a discussion about what we would get if it's not Bukayo Saka there. We could probably talk about Gabriel Jesus. But honestly, before we even go to that conversation, I just think Bukayo Saka, when he comes back into this team, you're going to see such a difference. I just think what we missed a lot of the times with Jesus against Shakhtar, he was coming back inside too much. Like I said before, he comes back inside and we lose that sense of dynamism down the right hand side. What I like from Bukayo Saka, you never know what he's gonna do next when you give him the ball away. Sometimes he might beat his man. Sometimes he might cut back, play a ball. Sometimes he might link up with the midfielder. Sometimes he might drive it down the lane with his right foot. Sometimes he might cut in, jinko, have a
Yeah,
shot power pull. He could do so much, and I think that level of creativity and that X factor Bukayo brings draws players to him and allows others in the midfield, potentially like a Waneri who's going to link up with him, like a Thomas Partey, to break the line, switch it over to Martinelli with the pace. How would Trent Alexander-Arnold deal with that? Especially balls fizzing to him at the back post that he will have to defend. I just think when you have a player like Bukayo Saka, if he's fit to come back into this game, it's not even a discussion about who I
that's
play on the right wing, honestly.
so that's it. So that's our lineup. I think obviously we do know if certain players aren't fit, or if Mikel on the side of caution, what it might be, maybe Timber left back, Partey right back, maybe Marino jumps in alongside those two in the midfield, or hopefully those two in the midfield, I should say, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully Saka's back. So just to have him in a big game on his return, for him to just make another staple at home.
This lineup, I'm looking at the lineup right now. This lineup, I think profile wise, gives us the best chance to win the game in terms of it suits what we normally would like to do ideally. So when people say this squad doesn't have what it takes or doesn't have enough depth, I'll show them the squad and they say profile for profile, you still have what you want there. Is the criticism now where does Arteta trust in these two young players, mainly who I'm really identifying within Waneri and Lewis Skelly at left back? Does he trust those players to come into the team? Because I think a lot of people might say, yes, we shouldn't be relying on 17-year-olds to come into the team. But I'm saying from all the times I've seen them, yes, it's only been a few cameos here and there, but they've been excellent, honestly, KP. You tell me
Yeah,
more.
no, for sure they've been really good. That's why like I don't look at it. I don't pick them out of like, oh my god, I want to get a young player in, or we have to. I look at them like in terms of what I think we might need, what they have seen them bring, and yes, their age bonuses, all of that. Like they look more youthful, more jumpy, more brightful, which
Mhm.
is obviously only contagious. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that lineup gives us the best opportunity to win games. But like you said, any X factors like potentially him Thomas Partey right back, Aaron Timber left back, that kind of might change the game. Not really how we look to play the game, because I don't really think that would impact. I already think Arteta has how identified from since we came back from international break how he wants to attack this Liverpool game, like you said, in terms of resting certain players like Timber, like Saka before going into this game. So I already think he has his game plan laid out from how he's going to attack Liverpool. But I think that leads us straight into game predictions, scoreline predictions more so than anything. With that lineup, because I think that's the lineup we go with. What do you expect, or even without that lineup, what do you expect the scoreline to be against Liverpool as we look to get back to winning ways?
What I expect, what I expect is 3-1. Arsenal. I don't see. We always concede at home, so I don't see how we're gonna get a clean. Not saying I don't see how. I just don't see us getting a clean sheet against Liverpool. And I think we're gonna try and blitz them. I think we probably do get go early, and I think we probably have an opportunity to score more than 3 goals. But I just want to go modest. How about yourself?
I mean, the opportunity could be there. I remember that game when we first went to our first title push in years, where we had Liverpool early in the season. Similar to this game, we blitzed them. Martinelli got that early goal, and it was a totally different game. So I mean, they did come back. It would end up being like a close. I think it ended 3-2, 3-2. I think it was in that game. Well, it did come back to be a close game, but ultimately, once we got that goal, the energy of the Emirates carried us through, and we were able to think. So I feel like I said, even if the goal doesn't come early, if you have certain players in there like Wanyeri, who the crowd are deaf, like Lewis Kelly made a 5-yard pass against Shakhtar and they were clapping him crazy. So like I can imagine if those lads come into the game, the support for those Arteta should not have to worry about if those players, like even if they make a mistake, I no doubt about it. I know the fans will get behind these guys,
and the players as well. So
no doubt about it. I think Arteta has to trust certain profiles of players in this game.
So what did you go with? What's your score predictions?
I'd say 2-1 Arsenal. I think
2-1
Bukayo Saka, if he does play, probably scores an assist in this game. And I'm going to be that bold to say that because I think I think everything I'm saying right now is when you're gonna see it in the game. When the ball goes up way to Bukayo Saka, the dynamism you're going to see in this team, especially if we're going to be pressing and on the front foot, is going to be electric in this in the atmosphere. On top of that, building towards that, I think the meaning of the game itself, knowing it's a must-win for the team, I think we're coming into a cauldron and potentially another Bukayo Saka legendary performance. Hopefully, speak that into existence because we need it most definitely.
Amen. Hopefully so, and I think it will be into. So yeah, man. Ultimately, in amongst that, just my final words. I just hope we get a dub. Like ultimately, even if it's just a 1-0 and it isn't the prettiest of the games, and we don't come out and absolutely box them, as long as we get the result, like it's all that matters. Because
3 points is all that matters. Especially
a draw is not good. It keeps it at 4. Obviously, a loss puts them at 7, which is already a mountain to climb.
It's literally a must-win game.
And I think a win will obviously benefit us. They could see as obviously they're going away to the rivals, but a wiping can do some damage.
Probably break their confidence, put the league on notice. Maybe probably shut up a lot of fans too, because I did drop a video on my channel recently talking about some of the vibes in this fan base, and I remember I will always say this. Going into the new year, we're bigging up. We're undefeated in however many games. We had the best stretch of form in the calendar year. We're this team. Going into that run, before we went to Dubai and everyone been bigging up this Dubai trip, we lost 4 games in the Premier League alone. 4 games. We lost to Villa, Newcastle, Brighton. No, we didn't lose to Brighton. We lost to Villa,
West Ham,
Fulham. Yes, we lost those 4 games, and at the time, people were saying, "Oh yeah, the league's over," but we lost the league on the final day.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think yes, this game is a must-win game, but regardless of the results, we have to back these players because it's a long old season. This Liverpool side under new manager, you never know how long this team is gonna go. City with no Rodri, you don't know what they're gonna produce. They're clearly not the same side because they had struggles beating Wolves. I think this league might be a bit different this season, but Arsenal have to do their due diligence and get 3 points at the weekend, no doubt about it.
For facts, bro. For facts. Like I believe we will. So I think it's one of those games we want to make a statement and then use that as a reference to go into we have the Preston game next week, which we probably get rotation and stuff, which is why it's possible Ethan might not start because Mikel will probably start him in that game. But I would love if he starts him in this game and that game as well.
Nah,
but yeah, probably got Newcastle and Chelsea, 2 tough away games. This is our last home game of the home stretch for now. We got to just try and make it.
I think before coming into Bournemouth game, I think 7 of our next 10 are away from home in all competitions. So we're going again on another lengthy away streak, similar to what we had with Spurs, Atalanta, City, and that stretch, and then the Villa game before that in that stretch as well. So we're looking to go on another lengthy away run of form. But anything you want to say before we ultimately wrap up the show?
I'd say ultimately, I think Saka plays, he dominates the game, and if we can get out of this, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea with at least minimum 1 win and 2 draws, but ideally 3 wins or at least 2 wins, 1 draw, and then we, as you're saying, we only have lost 1 game. I think our fixtures in December are quite favourable. A lot of home games in there against less opposition consecutively, which means we can obviously stack up some wins at some points before we get into that December period that might be a bit hard again.
1000%. But yes, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a massive game. But ultimately, don't forget to like and subscribe to both of our channels, whether you're joining from KP's channel or whether you're watching from Gunner Street. Always hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Share with anyone you want to do, and leave your thoughts and predictions down below. What do you expect? Who do you expect to start first of all? What are your expectations going into this game? And who do you think would be the goal scorers and man of the match? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like anything Arsenal related, it's on me and KP's channel at Gunner Street or Kate. So Kate has paused, I should say. But like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Show the guys some love and tune in weekly for that Gunners talk. Till next time.
See you soon.
Later.